I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, it looks like it.
Oh, are we on screen? Well, hi!
Hi.
No, not yet. Doesn't look like we're on screen just yet. Unless I'm behind. I have bad Wi-Fi, girl.
Listen, my Wi-Fi was eaten too, and I realized it might be because I have my stream set up to be streaming at 1080p.
I was trying to watch all the ones before this, and I just couldn't. I kept skipping.
Oh, we're here. Hello.
Hi! Are we here?
You are?
We're here.
Oh my god, we're here! Oh my god! Okay. Well, hi everybody. Welcome to the drag and cosplay panel featuring some amazing cosplayers. I think we're on screen. I just want to make sure. I'm behind. I'm lagged out, but yes. Okay, people are saying they see us, so I'm assuming people see us. Well, hi everybody. I'm NickiMirage, and I am the moderator of this panel, and I stream on twitch.tv/QueenNickiMirage. And I have been doing cosplay for quite a while, and today I am cosplaying as Entrapta from She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. We have some amazing cosplayers on the panel with us today, including .com, Inertia, Chantel Sparkles, Joystick, and they're all amazing cosplayers in their own right. And I want to introduce some of them to you right now. First, I'd like to introduce the .com, as she is known on Twitch, or otherwise just known as .com, and she's an amazing Atlanta-based cosplayer and drag creator, period. So, you're on screen now.
I am? Oh my gosh. Hi, everybody. My name is .com. Like Nikki said, I'm from Atlanta. I stream, I cosplay. I mean, that's mostly my personality, I would say. So yeah, I stream a little bit. I do an all-black show and on Twitch just for fun. Yeah, I don't know. That's mostly it. Just nerd shit.
Period. Oop, on that screen. And, okay, our next cosplayer on the panel is Inertia. I know her, Inertia, we perform in the same scene together in Florida. And Inertia is an amazing cosplayer and has been recently started getting into cosplay, I'd say, from about last year on. So, Inertia, if you want to say something.
Hi, it's me, Inertia. Yeah, pretty much, basically everything she just said. So, I started doing cosplay more seriously about a year ago, with Nikki. And I'm a IRL performer, and I stream here on Twitch, twitch.tv/Nurse. And today I'm cosplaying Ash from Overwatch, and this is a stick up. And that's it. That's all I gotta say.
Is that the only stick up?
Oh my
Maybe.
god.
Let's find out.
Oh my god. Our next cosplayer on the panel, a drag content creator and just drag queen in general, is Chantel Sparkles. Chantel Sparkles is an impeccable cosplayer. If you are not following her Instagram, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Chantel Sparkles is based out in Louisville, Kentucky. And
surprised you got it right, because some people are like Florida.
Oh, well, formerly from Florida.
Yeah.
An amazing cosplayer, so I switch over to Chantel.
Hey everybody, I'm Chantel Sparkles. I'm a drag queen at Play Louisville. I've been doing drag for about 10 years now, and I started doing cosplay. I've always loved cosplay. I've loved video games since I was a child. Video games were always like my getaway. When I was like bullied in school and stuff, I think that's all of our reasons playing video games, I think. It was like the fantasy world for me to get away, and I've always wanted to do cosplay and drag, but I think it was just more of like a wall in front of me because I didn't know how to really sew when I started. And so asking people, I think you all know that when you ask someone to make you a cosplay, it's always expensive, like always. So I was like, bitch, I'm gonna learn to make my own stuff. So that's why I started sewing, and then I got into cosplay and just started going from there.
And, oh, I forgot to mention, who are you cosplaying today?
So I'm cosplaying the Queen for the Gays, Melina from Mortal Kombat 11, the DLC, the long-awaited. A million souls cried out for that bitch. So now she's here. So she's my queen. I love her, and I've always loved her. Actually, I started cosplaying Melina when I first started doing drag. I have a picture, girl. You don't want to see it, but she's always been my favorite character. So yeah, I'm doing Melina.
And then my Okay, and then last but not least on our panel is another member of Team Stream Queens, as well as Chantel Sparkles and Inertia are both members of Team Stream Queens, but is Joy Stick. Joy Stick is a Bay Area based cosplayer and drag content creator, and we can't help but stan.
Hi everyone. Oh, sorry.
Does she have nurses calling?
Not the nurses calling.
Girl, go ahead.
I am Joystick, Twitch's resident drag monarch in both the king and the queen, and I've recently gotten into cosplay. It's only been a year now. I am cosplaying as the nurse from Dead by Daylight. If you hear me wheezing, it's because I just blinked and hit a survivor.
It always sounds like a bird to me when she's like a hawk or something.
And let me just turn Joy up a little bit more. Okay. Okay, I feel like... Okay, so... I hope everyone's having a great day, and we're gonna have some really nice discussion about cosplay. I hope the stream is running okay, because my computer is slightly yeeting itself. I think because Streamlabs had an update that's making it run poorly, but as long as it looks fine on stream, we're good.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. Anyway, okay, our first question I want to get into today is, has cosplay always been a part of your drag? And if it hasn't, when did you start incorporating cosplay into your drag? We can start with Dot.
Okay, cool. So yeah, cosplay has kind of always been like something that I aspired to. The way that I got into drag was definitely like everybody else, well, a lot of other people, through Drag Race. And that was around season 8, and the first person who I saw was like Dax. And I'm like, okay, hold up, she's black, and she's queer, and she's doing cosplay, and that's something that I can do. I can also be a, awesome She-Hulk, Storm, whatever, pop diva, like, sign me the fuck up. And so I just basically tried my very best to like get like the first drag cosplay that I could. So my first few weren't cosplays. I did Steven Universe was my first drag song I ever did, and then my first cosplay was like probably like a month or so into it when I could finally afford like a really crappy $40 costume. And I wore that thing everywhere. It was Sailor Venus, and I did a Sailor Venus number. It was to a mashup of Venus by Azealia Banks and Venus by Lady Gaga. So you couldn't tell me nothing. So yeah, I know. And that's what I've been like trying to like get towards, ever since. It's kind of hard to sell drag cosplay as your brand, just because like everyone kind of dips their foot into it. But like I feel like now that we're quarantined, I'm able to like kind of fixate on it and like work on the content I want to do, and I want to make that like my main gig, So that's what I've been doing.
Period. Okay, Inertia.
So, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Streamlabs is struggling to switch between scenes. I'm gonna switch to OBS.
What's happening?
We're good. I think we're good. You're on screen, Inertia.
Oh my god, hello. It's me again. So I didn't start incorporating cosplay into any form of drag until about maybe like a year and a half ago. Ironically, it was because of a gig that was given to me by Nikki. It was a cosplay themed show, so that was about the first time I really seriously tried to do it. And then I debuted Hella at that point in time, and kind of fell in love with the idea of becoming these characters. I wouldn't say it's not really a big part of my drag, because it's very hard to be a club performer and do cosplay like a lot, because when I tell you that if I walked,
people just stare. They're like, what is she doing?
Right. If I walked out there as Ash, only the girls and the gays would get it, and they would tip me. But everybody else who's there to dance and like drink, they'd be like, why do you look like a cybernetic cowboy girl?
Not the cybernetic cowboy girl.
Right, so it's like I do it. Twitch is a really good opportunity, place to do cosplay, because we're all gamers, we're all kind of nerds in a way. We love this kind of stuff. So cosplay is really nice here. And I try to incorporate the really well-known ones, that, you know, the ones that every drag queen does, like in the club. But like, I want it to be like 50-50, you know, like
Right.
normal, like my drag, but also cosplay, because I love cosplay. I love comics. I love games. I love these characters. So that's basically, that's it. That's what I got for you. Did I answer the question?
Yes, you answered the question.
Period.
Okay, Chantel.
So I mean, cosplay's really just been a part of my drag since I started. It's just, like I said, it was never really something I could fulfill and reach just because I didn't know how to sew, you know? And like, my drag mom is Trinity, so like, I had to beg her to make me a Melina costume. Because like, I wore the one that she would buy on like Amazon, you know? And it was just so hard to hide your tights, you know? And it just didn't look quality, so I like begged her to make me one, and she made it. And it was, you know how like when someone else makes you something, it's always like, you know, it's not exactly what you want, because like, I don't know about you, but I'm a control freak and I love cosplay. So when I do cosplay, I want it to be like to the T, you know?
Mhm.
And I respect all types of cosplay, but like, I'm just that kind of person. Like, I like to do something like as close as possible to the cosplay, you know? But I started drag when it was like around, I think like season 2 of Drag Race. And I dated this guy that was really against drag, you know, he hated it. And so it was like almost taboo for me to like do it or watch it. I had to kind of like hide it. Girl, I had to lie about going to the gig, doing the talent shows. And it just got to a point where like I hated it. So like I broke up with him and I really pursued drag a lot. And I just started like sewing later on in my career. And I moved to Louisville because Trinity, she actually like asked me to move with her because she got a cast position at this place called Connection. And I was like, girl, I don't know if I want to move because like I've never lived far away from my family, you know. I'm used to like being close to everybody. I'm from Florida, so like Florida's my home, you know. And so when I moved, she got me a job, like a interview kind of thing, like where I had to perform and see if they would like me. Well, they wound up liking me and I got the job. I worked there for about a year, and after that I transferred to Play.
Mm-hmm.
And working at Play is like, it's a great opportunity because like we get to do drag like all the time. I mean, not right now because of COVID, but like we have to do like 6 numbers every night. We have to do choreography things like productions.
Mm-hmm.
And like Nurse said, it's really hard to do cosplay in places like that because like, you know, most people don't really get the things that we're super passionate about because like true cosplayers will cosplay stuff that like, girl, only we know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you'll grab a character that's like a side character and you'll do it. And like I've seen people perform it, and like I've seen some of the girls at the club do it, but like you said, like people just kind of like they don't get it or they get it, you know. And it's hard because like me, I do drag full time. This is like my passion, and this is something I do to pay my bills. And so it's kind of hard because you have to kind of adapt yourself to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to make sure that it's what they like and also what you like, because you don't want to like change who you are for these people, but you also want to make money. So like I kind of do cosplay. I like to do cosplays that like when I grew up, it was always something that like was special to me that I kind of had to hide growing up, because like, girl, I used to wake up every single day for school early just to watch Sailor Moon, Pokemon, you know, all the things before you would go to school. And like my parents didn't know I was gay. Everybody would make fun of me in school, but it was like my getaway thing. And so like doing those cosplays are like very nostalgic to me, and it's almost like taking me to a place where I felt safe. And yeah, I just like doing the cosplays because it's like a special part to me.
That's
amazing.
amazing.
And I know the gays love it too, girl. Like when you do like Melina, or you do like certain, you know, those people that just like grew up that love the girl, like, you know, the girls love the comics.
Oh,
the girl
for sure.
comic girls, like, you know, .com, that's your fucking sick thing. I love that hair. Ever since I've seen that cosplay character or that comic character, I've loved it. So yeah,
And
it's just like, it's really tough doing cosplay at the same time because like I said, when you work at a bar like that, you have to really adapt yourself. But I've always loved cosplay, and it's a passion of mine. And so
for
now
sure,
I can bring stuff together more.
And we're going to talk about the aspects of cosplaying at a bar a little bit more later on in the panel. So, but Joy, how long have you been doing cosplay, incorporating cosplay into your drag?
I've been doing cosplay for a little over a year now. Like, I started drag and doing while I'm streaming on Twitch, so my drag journey has been documented. Well, maybe not the early days, thank God. But but yeah, like I've always loved cosplay and like video games and comic books and all the nerdy shit. So I was like, I really want to do this, and so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna figure out how to do this without spending too much, because I was a college student back then.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this all myself, and I was like, and then I started getting into like making like EVA foam armor and like learning how to sew, which I'm still not good at, by the way. But yeah, I've always just wanted to put my own spin into all these characters that I absolutely just love and adore, sometimes even hate.
Period.
Right.
And for me myself, I got one hand out of the glove right now because I'm controlling the thing. But for me, I started drag in 2013, and then I started getting serious about drag around early 2015. But cosplay, I started cosplaying in 2014. My very first cosplay I ever did in drag was Black Widow. And it's like someone relatively well known. It was because of costume I wore. People were like, "Oh, you look like Black Widow," and then it's kind of spiraled from there. I did like Raven. I'm currently wearing Entrapta. I've done Pearl from Steven Universe. I've done a lot, and it kind of got me known as the cosplay queen of my town. And just because it's been such a huge part of my drag, I started doing cosplay just because I'm a nerd and I love it. And I mainly started doing cosplay drag because I produce a cosplay drag show at a local anime convention at my university, or I did when I was still attending. So that's kind of how cosplay's always been incorporated into my brand. And I know we've kind of touched on my question too a little bit here, but of why we incorporate cosplay is mostly our love for being nerds, and just like, and it's an escape and it's a way to become someone fun and just play dress up even more so than we already do. But what kind of characters do you cosplay mostly? Like, do you like anime characters, comic book characters, video game characters? If anyone wants to answer that.
Oh, yes, I will. So for me, I think my big cosplay thing is superheroes, or at least that's what I'm gearing more so towards. I just have this like really fond memory of like kind of escaping into these like really like, you know, badass like female superheroes. Like I just like really love like, you know, like strong women. And
Right,
so
they're
like I don't know, like the leotards were crazy. Like shout out to fucking Power Girl. Like she had that whole thing going on. But like, I just like really like wanted to do that, and I never felt like I could really get into that as like a gender bend, because before I did cosplay before I started doing drag, and I just never felt like I could like have the same type of effect. And so like actually no, you know what? I got too excited. I'm so sorry. What is the actual question again?
That's fine. The actual question was like, what kinds of characters do you cosplay mostly?
Yeah, you kind of
like?
answered it.
Yeah, so you did answer
yeah.
it. You said comic books.
The short answer is superheroes. Love me some Marvel. I'm currently, I forgot to even like mention it before, but I'm currently cosplaying Dark Veil, who was like an X-Men who was released almost 2 years ago. And I'm just now like actually cosplaying her, and she's like a drag queen. So like I just like really like seeing characters cosplaying characters who I identify with. That's been the big thing for me. So superheroes, strong people, drag queens.
And you look absolutely amazing tonight, by the way.
Yeah, that hair is
Good.
amazing.
Yes.
I love the hair.
I'm on the opposite end, and I like to cosplay villains.
I'm into that.
The villains are always the cool ones, though. Like everybody
Yeah.
loves the villains.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh,
I
wow,
just
look.
love their aesthetic.
I'm the villain too.
I've cosplayed a lot of the Joker and Harley Quinn. I've also like did a gender bent version of Livewire, who is underutilized in the DC universe.
I've heard that name before. I just don't really know who it is.
She's like the one that shoots
I
electricity.
might know her if I saw her. I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
Mhm.
Is she electric powers or what?
Electric, yes.
it sounded like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Mhm.
she's just so cool, and she's so underutilized, and I'm upset. But yeah, I like from comic books to villains in video games. Like I'm dressed up as a killer from Dead by Daylight right now. So yeah, I just love their aesthetic.
Period. I feel like I don't actually end up doing a lot of villains. I look back at my cosplays and I think it's like, and a lot of them end up not being villains. The one I'm doing right now, she ends up working for the bad guys, but she's not a villain. And I don't know if I guess I end up doing a lot of heroes, and my cosplays range from a lot of things. I've done some superheroes. I've done video game characters. I've done anime characters. One of my first cosplays was Sailor Venus, much like Dot. And
I'm sorry, that's exciting. I'll send you the mix.
oh. And so yeah, my cosplay inspiration comes from all over the place. What about you, Chantel?
I like pretty much the same what you guys said. I like the villains. The villains are always the coolest ones, you know. I also like old stuff, like old video games, like Darkstalkers. It's like one of my favorite games. I love Felicia, you know, the cat girl with her big old titties. I want to cosplay her so bad soon. It's just like, it's a really hard costume to do because it's like all like panels and food. Yeah, it's body. So I want to make sure I do it right. But I love her. I love, obviously, Morgan and Felicia. I love old video games, really. Like Final Fantasy is probably one of my favorite games of all time. Just because, like, Final Fantasy VIII was the very first game that I discovered growing up. And so, girl, I didn't know how to fucking play it at all. Like, like I didn't know how to work the GF system or anything, but it was just so cool because, like, it was just so, like, fantasy-ish, you know? And then I discovered Final Fantasy VII, and then it just spiraled from there. So, like, a lot of my cosplays I've done from, like, Final Fantasy, Sailor Moon, I've done all the Sailor Scouts, I've done the villains, Mortal Kombat, comic book characters. I really want to do Scarlet Witch too. It's just, you know, a lot of the stuff that like all of us young kids grew up, you know, watching and playing that we always wanted to be, but we couldn't because we were in the closet or we were afraid. Like those are the things that I like to really capture because I want to show people that like, you know, they can do that. You know what I mean? Like, because we're in a new day now where like it's cool to be gay. You know what I'm saying? And so like now kids can grow up and see icons like us doing these cool characters. Like, girl, I never saw anybody like this, you know? Like, I wish that I could have been able to sign in to Twitch and watch a bunch of drag queens just talk about cosplay and stuff. Like, I probably would have been a lot further than where I am now, just because, like, you know, it's just hard. But now it's, like, different, so, yeah. I'll stop talking.
Can I just add on that real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, the part of the reason why I started was because nobody else was doing it in my city, really. Like, yeah. I was trying to go around, follow queen to queen, and be like, okay, cool, this is an awesome dancing queen. Let me take notes from her. This queen, like, kind of does some, like, campy stuff. Let me take notes from her. But, like, I don't really think I ever saw, like, somebody, like, doing exactly what it is that I do, that had the same vision that I have, that's doing the mixes that I want to do for this specific character. And so, like, I feel like that's, like, also, like, a super big pull of it, too, is, like, I want to bring this character to life in, like, a super fun way. Like, it's cosplay, and it's supposed to be fun, and drag is also supposed to be fun. So, like, why not, like, marry all of them together? It's like a great combination, and I feel like, you know, cosplay might have eventually, like, you know, warmed itself into like inventing some type of new form of drag, but like it's a great mix. I just love it so much.
I think, sorry to interrupt. I think also like with the whole cosplay things, like where we say that it's like really hard to perform certain things because people don't get it. Like I honestly think that like you can still sell a drag cosplay look if you like put together like a really cool mix where it kind of just tells a story, you know? Because then people be like, oh, which I don't know what the fuck she's doing, but that mix is telling a damn story, girl.
But you have to jump through hoops to do that kind of stuff in like our local scenes. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's really hard, but like I like doing the mixes because like the mixes are really fun. Like you can really act it out, like you said, add comedy, you can add your own style to it, and just do a lot of stuff that people really aren't doing, you know, because you can add your own style.
Of course. And Joy, did you have anything you wanted to add to that segment?
What was the question?
Oh, we were talking about like what kind of characters we like to cosplay. I think we kind of covered villains and whatnot. I think so just to move the conversation back onto track, and this is a question, I'll start with Joy this time. Do you buy your cosplays or make them yourself? And if you make them yourself, what is your costume making process like, and what is it like budgeting for a cosplay?
It's a bit of a mix. Like for me, if I wanted like a particular, like let's say armor type of cosplay, like of course I have to make that myself with like EVA foam and all that. But I've been trying to teach myself how to sew, but it's a slow process. But mostly I buy most of my cosplays. Like I got this dress from Amazon and it looks exactly like the nurses, so I was
Right.
like, score.
Great.
Honestly, some things are cheaper on Amazon, you know, and you can just like rework it and make it look even better, you know.
Hmm.
Because sometimes if you go to Joann's and you like, or if you go to a fabric store and you're like, well, I'm gonna make it, you know, after buying everything, it's a little more, you know, and it looks exactly like what you got. So I can respect that.
Like literally, that's what I do with a lot of my cosplays. Like I buy stuff from Amazon and then I just like edit it to match my vision.
Yeah.
For sure. I know myself personally, I end up making a lot of my cosplays, and that's because I am a drag queen of a larger size, so a lot of stuff, store-bought cosplays just don't fit me, and I've tried to do the custom orders before, and the first thing I ever custom ordered was my Sailor Venus cosplay, and it came and it was a wreck. I had to completely modify the whole thing, so I know how to sew, so I end up making a lot of my own, but budgeting can get, depending on what you want to do for the cosplay, budgeting can get crazy. Like I've had this cosplay I'm wearing today, my full Entrapta cosplay probably cost me over $200 to make between materials and props and whatnot. But I have other cosplays I have that I've put together with stuff I already own for nothing. So if anyone else wants to add to that.
I can, yeah. So in the beginning, there a lot of it was like purchased Amazon and what Heroes Time, like those websites and stuff. And I'm trying to like expand into a new type of venture where maybe also like if it's a basic bodysuit, let me at least try to sew this basic bodysuit. And even though sewing is super hard, if I can at least get like some more experience with the sewing machine, experience crafting stuff, it might look pretty bad. I might have to waste the fabric, but like. At least like I'm getting steps closer towards doing cool stuff. Like Chantel, like you actually did inspire me. Like, I think it was with your Melina costume because you made that one too, correct?
Yeah, I made it literally like as soon as it came out.
Right, and so like you also show the progress and stuff, and like you showing the progress of being like, hey, this is how I made this cosplay. I'm like, oh, that's possible. We can do it and have it look sickening. And so like that kind of like super inspired me to like kind of like break out the old sewing machine and see maybe I can put this together. But like right now, what my thing is, I'm trying to at least get more things that are custom. Something that I'm starting to run into because I like my bodysuits, and those are super hot right now. The custom dye sub ones, and they're really easy to acquire. And so when you go to something like a con or maybe it's Halloween, so all the drag queens are cosplaying, and so you'd have like 3 or 4 of the same like a super bright highlight thing from Brandon Gilberto, like the same Spider-Man ones, like all over the place. And so I'm like, okay, work. At least if I can't craft it myself, I can at least hire somebody to make a custom design, and then I can get that custom design printed. And then that way, at least, even though it's still a normal, regular looking bodysuit, it's still something that is like unique to me and my interests and what I wanted. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I respect that. I totally think that every drag queen should learn to do stuff on their own because like it gets really expensive. Like, some people have other jobs and it's nice, but when you have to pay your bills or you have to pay for school, you have to pay for everything, like drag adds up, so, and especially cosplay, if you want to do it right, because it gets expensive. So like to be able to try, like at least you're trying to make stuff, you know what I mean? Because the more you try, the better you're going to get, the more you're going to learn, And so I can respect that you at least try, and also like the whole like wearing the same bodysuit to like cons and stuff. You could also like stone it, you know what I mean, or like do certain stuff to like add more like detail, like that stone thing in the back. That's sickening.
Yeah, and Anursha, do you have anything you wanted to add?
In terms of that, I know for me, I'm fortunate enough where I can, like, if it's a complicated cosplay, I can usually, because I'm super tiny, like short and everything. I can find things that fit really well. But it's that balance of like how much, because things that are detailed like this one, like that has a whole bunch of other little pieces that get to it. It's not as easy to just acquire all the little pieces and stuff. Like it can be expensive. But I know like it's like finding that balance between it's like, all right, this is the big one that I want to bring out for like Halloween when all the other drag queens are going to be wearing like they're not going to, you know, they're just going to grab what they can grab. I want to wear this one. It's more detailed. It's a character that I really like. So it's like budgeting, but obviously like cosplays are expensive. I think Chantal had said earlier, if you ask someone to make you a cosplay or if you buy it from a place that does make them, it's expensive.
They charge like $1,000, $2,000. Like
It's ridiculous. So it's like finding a balance between, okay, so this is the one I'm going to spend a lot of money on. But then, for example, I have a Rock Lee cosplay that I did, and it's very, very accurate. And I did that one by finding at the cheapest material, like literally pieces of it, the cheapest things possible, like the cheapest spandex bodysuit I can find, literally the cheapest leg warmers I could find, and it ended up being a lot cheaper than what if you were to like make it yourself and you spent money on the fabric. So it's like bargain hunting. It's like coupon clipping, but for cosplay.
That's the heart of drag. Like that's where it started, was like learning to make your own stuff, you know, and just doing everything your own and finding how to make
exactly
expensive.
And I think it's fun too, because when you buy all the pieces to a cosplay, rather than just buying it together, you're like really paying attention to every minute detail of that character from head to toe. You're looking for everything. It's got to be like correct.
And that kind of leads me into our next point of discussion is how important is character accuracy of the costume to you personally when making a cosplay? And do you ever take creative liberties such as making it drag, quote unquote, or doing closet cosplays where you're just trying to do something for a gig, where you might have some pieces in your closet that kind of evoke a character? Like I have, for instance, a Kim Possible cosplay that I joke is Kim Passable because I put it together with things I already owned, with just like a black bodysuit, some like green pants, and I said, yeah, sure, I have an orange wig, I'm Kim Possible, and it worked for that. But on the other hand, I have cosplays like my Hatsune Miku cosplay or my Pearl cosplay where I spent a lot of time and energy at making it look accurate, just like the character. And for me, I don't always do things like I a lot of times will spend time making quote unquote accurate cosplays, so I don't end up doing a lot of embellishments to make them drag. It kind of depends on the character, but like it's kind of like the only thing that makes my cosplays drag is that I'm wearing a drag face and I have my drag body, but the rest of it, other than that, it's just cosplay. So if anyone wants to piggyback off that, Joy.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead, Joey. Joy.
No. Oh. I'm like pretty much like as long as I'm like people get what I'm going for without me having to explain it, I feel like it's fine. Like I plan on whenever I do Harley Quinn, I do a mullet and then like a Harley Quinn face and then some black and white or black, red, and white like two-tone things, and like people get it's Harley Quinn even though it doesn't look exactly like Harley Quinn. So as long as you're like giving the essence of a certain character that you're cosplaying, I feel like it's totally fine to not be completely accurate.
And Chantal, what were you saying?
No, I was just saying that like I don't remember exactly what you said. What did you say last?
Oh, I said I a lot of times with my cosplays don't necessarily do anything extra to make them drag. I just go for accuracy, and then but I'm wearing a drag face with drag makeup and like a drag body.
Okay, so I'll say the same thing. Like when I do my cosplays, like I will get some trolls and they'll be like, well girl, she don't look like her, and I'm like, well bitch, I'm a fucking drag queen, so get over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I like to do like drag makeup and I like to still be Chantel. Sometimes I'll do my eyes like a little smaller or something like that, but I'm not gonna like completely change my face just for the cosplay. Like I like to embody that. But I also like to make the cosplays pretty close, but also add like a drag flavor to it. Like with these nails, like in the video game, she has like these metal claw things, but I wanted them to be like stone so that whenever I was on stage, people would be like, oh, she got little rhinestone nails. You know what I mean? But I just like to do things pretty close. But there are some cosplays that I want to go back and I want to actually like redo some stuff and like add a really sickening flavor to it. Like there's this artist, I'm sure you guys all know who he is. His name is Carlos on Instagram. He does like all the fierce, like you would know him if you saw his art. He's redone like everybody's art. He's added celebrities to like the characters, and he actually like I think if I'm not mistaken, he actually designs some stuff for like Mortal Kombat.
Oh, wow.
And he does like his own style to it. And I want to go back into like the Sailor Moon characters and like add like armor and stuff, like to make it look like what it would look like in a modern day. I think it would be so cool, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like to do things pretty close, but I also want to go back and try new stuff, you know? But I think all cosplays should be respected and should just have, you know, cosplay is supposed to be fun, you know what I mean? As a fantasy
Right.
world. It's just like how, you know, people are making fun of the whole like Little Mermaid being black. Like she was never a real person, you know what I mean? So like anybody can play this character and, you know, live the fantasy and have fun with it, you know? So like if you feel like you're cosplaying this character and you're having fun and it gives you that nostalgic feeling and, you know, whatever, like girl, live your life and fuck everybody else and have fun with it. You know what I mean? And that's how I,
So I'm piggybacking off of that. Back when I started cosplay, I felt so disheartened, and I don't know if it was because of some weird like reverse. I wouldn't call it bullying, but like what happened is basically you see all these people get super celebrated because they look exactly like this character, and I felt so limited because of the color of my skin that I was gonna never be able to like be like exactly. I was never gonna be able to be this type of person, like, you know, this character, and I'll never get that praise that like so and so would do if they did like a Raven costume, and I'm like, you know, there'll always be the thing that they'll notice is like, oh, she almost looks like Raven, but Raven wasn't black.
but her, yeah,
And
her,
so, like,
Yeah.
and that's such a stupid excuse, like, or stupid thing to even be pointed out.
But I never got bullied for it. That was just something that I learned myself by seeing everyone else get so hyped for like these specific for specific cosplayers who have the privilege to be able to match like, you know, a wide array of characters. And so I don't know, like I sometimes like I'd shift it towards like, okay, well maybe I'll do like, you know, this black person over here, I'll do this black person over here, and now I'm done. So like I need to like I think a really freeing thing for me to like let go of that, to like enjoy it anyways. And like don't get me wrong, like these characters, like the black characters are always gonna have like, you know, a really big place in my heart. But like I don't know, the over celebrating of the accuracy was so damaging to where I'm like, I don't care if I look at this person anymore. So like you guys know who I am. Like Dark Veil is supposed to have like a little dragon earring and like, oh, I have a little fan. But, like, you know, it's supposed to have all these things, and I just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with that.
And I was gonna piggyback off that. I was gonna say on the accuracy thing, it's like things that it's like since I can make costumes accurate. I'm just talking about costumes. I'm not talking about skin tone. We're not talking about body type. We're just purely talking about costumes.
Right.
But cosplay definitely falls into that category, though. Like, believe it or
Oh
not.
yeah,
like,
I
struggles. It sucks.
and this is we're heading to a very important place I wanted to talk about here today. And yeah, like I was gonna say, like I don't always make the shoes accurate. I don't always make the hair exactly accurate. Like those are hard things to do. But you're sometimes missing accessories. But one thing I did want to bring up, and Dot, you segued us right there, is that cosplaying is fun and it's supposed to be meant for everyone. But there's a real dark side to the cosplay community, especially online, and with huge issues of racism, fat phobia, etc. happening. Where, oh, you're too fat to be this character. For instance, I got a comment on my Pearl cosplay that said I thought Pearl didn't like to eat because she's a stick skinny character. And you see people all the time giving people of color who cosplay like sometimes horrible comments because they're not cosplaying, they're cosplaying like perceived white characters, and it's so awful. And I wanted us to try to highlight these issues tonight. So
yeah, I mean, I try to share a lot of like black cosplayers because like there are some really fierce cosplayers out there that are people of color, and like I forget her name, but I have her on Instagram, and she does like all the girls, and her body is sickening, and she is fierce. And I think that we need to like celebrate that, and like you said, people should be able to they should be able to cosplay who they want to do and not worry about like, oh well, that's not the skin tone. You know what I mean?
I think it also goes into the fact that like every other field of art and life, it's always the entitled white people who are gatekeeping every aspect of every detail of every art form, including, I mean, drag, cosplay is everything. It's like the little details don't matter unless your skin tone doesn't match that character. Then all of a sudden we've got a huge problem. but some other white content creator can do a cosplay that's not even nearly as good, not even a fraction as good as someone else's. But it's fine. We can ignore some of those details because they match the skin tone. It's gatekeeping. It always has been.
I don't know, like I was kind of like saying, like sometimes it's not even like intentionally negative. It's just like we create this culture of like overly celebrating like these people, like, you know, overly celebrating white people who like get to match these characters and stuff. And so like when you're consuming content, you have to like have this like consciousness of like, hey, there are some things that like these people, like other cosplayers of different body types, can't control. So like whether that's their weight or their skin color, like that's just something that's out of their thing, out of their ability to control at that moment. So might as well enjoy the cosplay, enjoy this character, and just like try to show it just as much love, if not even more love, than like, you know, somebody who looks comic accurate or looks canon.
Right. Because it should be fun, just like drag. It should be. You're celebrating the character. You're enjoying the art, and having fun doing it.
Yeah, nowadays people just want to reach and they want to find a reason to just like, you know, make it not fun. So you just gotta like fuck those people and just do what you want to do and have fun with it, girl, because you only live once and you got one dream and you gotta just go for it. You know what I mean?
Fully.
Joy, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, like for me, it's like really hard to find cosplays because I am Asian and there's not a lot of Asian characters out there, and I am a little bit thicker than usual than most people. But I remember this one time when I cosplayed the Plague at DragCon last year, and I was like, and I remember taking a photo with Elix, and I remember seeing a comment like saying, "Oh, that's a fat Plague," and I'm like, "And
that is not cute.
I'm thick and voluptuous. How dare you?" I'm also not the tallest, and I'm like, the Plague is a tall queen, but I'm like, okay, I just love her.
Yeah.
Hey,
Someone said that about
why people do that.
Plague. I did the Plague once too, and I wore my drag pads just because, like, you know, girl, that's what I do. You know, it's still drag, and someone was like, her hips are way too big. Like, she doesn't know. And I'm like, girl, you're really gonna like reach for that after I literally just made the steam thing that she hits you with, like all the details, and you're really literally worried about like how thick someone looks? It's so stupid.
It's the nerve.
Like people,
that's what it is.
Yeah, they don't really need to keep comments and like critique to themselves. Like unless if you're going to like pay me to like, you know, get all these like accurate things, then that doesn't make sense. And that happens with drag and it happens with cosplay. People are gonna be like, oh, yeah, for your nails. Like, oh, they're not supposed to be metal nails. Are you gonna pay for me to have metal nails?
Yeah.
No.
Period.
Right. Exactly.
And it's always the people who don't do it themselves. Always.
Exactly.
Who've got the most to say.
And the people that'll sit behind their keyboard and got no photo.
Exactly.
No photo. That's it.
It's like, what's good?
Because like cosplay can like open up those lines of dialogue that are also like really damaging. But like one of the reasons that we do this is because like not everybody knows who our characters are, and so when we dress up as these characters, it's a big walking advertisement saying, "Hello, please talk to me about Darkveil. I would love to have conversations about Darkveil. Have you heard of our Lord and Savior Darkveil?" And so like it's supposed to be a fun thing.
I always find it interesting because it's like it's like, you know how drag is almost like a distraction or like a separation from your normal life. It's almost like cosplay in drag is like a separation from your normal drag too. You get to, you know, I don't get to be Inertia. I get to be Inertia as like Ash. I get to be this different character, and I get to celebrate and channel all the things I love about this particular character, and not just have to be myself. It's fun, and we love talking about nerdy shit. So you know,
yeah. And it kind of goes along. That kind of goes along with what Chantel was saying earlier. It's like making if you do drag acts as cosplay characters, it's so fun to make a mix of songs you think would fit that character. You know,
oh yeah.
Like that is so fun. Like for instance, Venus by Gaga for Sailor Venus. Yeah, that's I did that too. And but like this character, Entrapta is very known for being a weirdo. So I did Weird People by Lil Mix for this character, and Bionic by Christina Aguilera. Not Christina. Yes, Christina Aguilera. Wow. Because she because this character also builds robots. So it's kind of fun.
That's a good idea.
to like make these mixes or expose these characters to people who don't necessarily know who they are. Like Dot said, come talk to me. I'll tell you about how nerdy I am.
Girl, after the mix, they're gonna want to know. 'Cause they're
Literally.
Right.
She'll tell you to watch She-Ra for the 18th time.
I have my own personal quick question for all y'all. So since we're talking about mixes, what number would you do for the character you're dressed as currently? Because for me, it would be number 1 fan. Like, that'd be adorable. Because you don't know, Darkveil has this little fan that she carries around everywhere. She can teleport with it. As a number 1 fan, it's going to be like the best song for it. Does anybody have any songs that you would do with your character currently?
Homemade Dynamite by Lord.
Yes. Oh my god, that's cool.
I would do Heal Me by the Allie. And
Yeah.
Allie.
mixed in with Love is Dead by Curly.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's cool. I actually have a mix for mine that I've been doing for like years. And I do Kesha Cannibal, and I go into Nicki Minaj Monster, just because like it's so animated when she's like rapping, and it's sickening, especially when you rip the mask off and they're like, what the fuck? Girl, you should see, like, working at the bar, like when I take the mask off and they see this, all like the straight girls and like the people that have never been to a drag show, their face is like, what the fuck did I just sign up for? You know what I mean? But it's so awesome. So like, I do that. I do quite a few songs. I like to do like, I know some people will do like 1 or 2 songs, but like with my mixes, I like to do like a little bit of everything and like have like dialogue in between and stuff, just to like really take them on a journey so they can be like, oh, this is cool, you know?
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
And I already just said what I would do as this character, so what I do in this mix. So
Say it again.
Bionic by Christina Aguilera mixed with Weird People by Little Mix.
Girl, Bionic.
Sorry, you broke up. What was that? No, I'm kidding.
Bionic. I wanted to
album
say,
was
and we've
bad.
been talking about this a little bit all night, and I just want is that if you perform live, how do patrons usually perceive your cosplays? I know that I love doing cosplay. Earlier this year, when the pandemic started, Inertia and I did a digital drag show on my channel, twitch.tv/QueenNickiMirage, called 2 Girls, 1 Webcam, where I did a lot of my cosplay acts because I could. And at the bar, I usually only pull out I find that I only pull out my cosplays, or at least originally only pulled them out around like October, because it was Halloween time and you could like quote unquote get away with it. But as I got older in my drag career and I started caring less about what the other queens or anyone thought, I just started doing cosplay when I felt like it. If it was a night that I felt like, well, I want to be diva tonight, so I'm just gonna do it. Sometimes they didn't know what was going on, but other times they really do, and they really appreciate it. And there's always like that one person in the bar that knows who you are, and
they're just living. They're like, yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
Those are the best people.
Yes.
Then you hang out with them for the rest of the night.
Period.
I feel like you have to like make sacrifices though too. It's like because it comes down. It's like what I said really early on. It's like, so if I want to do Ash tonight, do I want to make money or do I want to just do this fun act? Because on one element you will make money and you will get tipped because you look good. End of story. They're like the basis. But when you're doing the thing, they're like, why is she doing Homemade Dynamite by Lord in a club? Like, that's what's going on? Like, they're like, who are you? Why do you have a cowboy hat? What's the story?
Yeah.
And that it's like sacrifices. But then you like say you do any of like the Sailor Venus, it's instantly recognizable. Kim Possible, instantly recognizable. Like if you want, sometimes you have to like be like, okay, I want to do a cosplay, but I guess I have to stick to these like super like well-known characters. Because or else I'm not going to make money tonight. And it's like, what do you want to do? It's like cutting corners.
I fully agree. Like we've been saying it all night, is that you have to walk the line between what is popular and unpopular, or like, you know, kind of hidden. And so that's something you have to do. But something that I kind of notice is the more that I branded myself as, hey, I do fun cosplay stuff, that's also sometimes the gigs that I get asked to do as well. And that's been really, like, you know, super fun for me. And so I'm able to, you know, like Inertia, the one show that you and I did together was the cosplay show that you got to do, you know, at Mother. That
Wait,
was
I don't
super
know.
fun.
I don't know if I did that one.
I keep saying that you did, and I don't think you did.
Oh my god.
And I just keep going, yeah, I remember.
Oh,
I
and
was
to
there.
and to
But,
take
like,
the
you know,
cos.
just getting to do like cosplay shows, or like the time that a con comes around and all the bars are like, oh, there's people in town for a convention. You do that nerd stuff, right? And I'm like, yes, I do. Who do you want? I can be anybody.
And speaking convention, or to keep us moving along, speaking of conventions, do any of you cosplay at cons? I know, Joy, you did Plague at a convention, but
Which I thought it was good.
do any of you cosplay at cons regularly?
I've honestly never been to a con. And so many people are like, girl, you need to like go and wear your stuff to a con because you would get so much like people that like love it.
Mm-hmm.
But like honestly, I've never been to one. So like, yeah, that's like a
You would get stopped like every 2 seconds, and they'd be like, let's take a picture.
Mhm.
Right.
Like people are there are so into, like, everyone there is cosplaying, and so like you will literally be across the room, you'll be like, oh my god, you look good, and they'll be like, oh my god, you look good, and then you take pictures together, and it's like such a fun
Is
time.
it just like a thing to go and take pictures, or like
No,
what is it like?
so
You do
Just
whatever.
hang out. It's a big people watching thing.
yeah,
Oh,
and
okay.
people hang
Yeah.
out. There's panels. It's kind of like this. We're at a con right now, but this is an online con, so there's like panels,
Okay.
events. But it's all in person,
So
and
cool.
but people
And
are
thank you
running
guys
around
for letting me
dressed
be
up.
on here because this is honestly like one of my dreams. I've always wanted to be on like a panel talking about this kind of stuff. So like, thank you guys for like just inviting me and let me be part of this.
Of course.
Chantel, you need to go to TwitchCon when it actually happens, because literally there's not a lot of cosplayers and there's not a lot of drag artists, and people will literally just. I remember Trashley. There was this one time where Trashy was dressed up as a Demogorgon, and literally there's one lady just asked her to step on her, and I was like, okay.
Girl, I always say the Demogorgon's face looks like a blown out butthole.
Yes.
Well, kind of, yeah.
Well,
But I find cons very fun. I've been
Real
doing.
quick, want to talk about my con.
Oh yeah, period. Yeah, talk about.
So there is a con here that is called Anime Week in Atlanta. I have been tabling, but not tabling there. I work the merch booth basically. So the official con store is I'm working in full drag. I get up at like 7 a.m. I paint my face. I get there at 9 a.m. and I stand in fluorescent lighting in heels that nobody can see because I'm behind the table. But I'm still doing it anyways, and I haven't really gotten like any hate like whatsoever. I was terrified the first time I did that because I'm standing in front of like this is my first time doing drag in front of literal strangers who are here for that, not this. But then since I'm also in cosplay drag, they kind of end up loving it. So I don't know, that's been super fun. And then I have had people come back year after year and being like, "You're that one drag queen person who does the. Who are you now? You okay? You got yes, honey." And I just like live every single time because like for some of these people at a convention, I'm the first drag queen they've ever met and the only one they probably ever will. So that's just so awesome to have that experience, you know?
And like,
Yeah, and it's cool to give a good experience because some people look at drag queens as like they're scary or they're gonna hurt them or something. I'm like, girl, get over it.
All right.
and for me, it's like I like I said, I produce a show at I produced a show at my local anime convention, and it was it was an all ages show, and it was always very important to me that it be all ages because I think drag can be for certain types of drag can be for everyone. I think what better way to share drag with young people than cosplay. It's fun, it's nerdy, it can be pretty wholesome. Well, if you make it wholesome. We made the show PG-13, and it was just a lot of fun. I was a lot of people's first drag queen they ever saw. So much so that when I go to, like people who go to cons knew, at least in North Florida, knew who NickiMirage was. But sometimes I would start getting recognized at a drag too at cons. I'm like, that's weird. Like I was at MomoCon last year on one of those bird scooters, heading to the con, and someone said NickiMirage, and I said hello. I wasn't even in drag yet. But
Oh my God.
there's nothing better than looking across the room at MomoCon and seeing a giant low punny with an eye patch just looking at you, and you're like, Nikki, is that you?
But we are heading towards the end of our time here. We have about 5 minutes left. So I want to make sure get anyone's last thoughts, last things they would like to say. And thank you. I just want to thank you all so much for being a part of this panel and this discussion about cosplay and sharing our love of cosplay and our love for drag and the marriage of the two of those things and talking about just everything we've talked about tonight. So if anyone Dot, if you have any last things to say.
Hi, I'm .com. I have a few last things to say. These are the following.
Anything you want to promote? That's
on Twitch. Support cosplay, drag, and all types of drag. I'm at the.com, TheDottecom, and every Friday I do my makeup streams. And this upcoming Saturday I have my own little show, which is Charlie XCX show. So all Charlie XCX numbers, and then every first Saturday of the month, except for this upcoming Saturday. But every first Saturday of the month, I do an all-black show called Neon Black on Twitch too, so check that out as well. So, yeah!
Inertia, anything to promote?
Well, other than like, I stream here on Twitch.
She's the funniest bitch.
I'm just stupid. I stream here on Twitch, twitch.tv/nurse. But yeah, support cosplayers, support all forms of drag, all forms of cosplay are valid. And honestly, if you're in the chat watching this panel right now and you're thinking to yourself, how do I get started with cosplay? The answer is just do it. Right. Doesn't matter how detailed it is, just do it. It's the same with drag, just do it.
And a lot of times too, to piggyback, if you're scared to do it even more, because
yes,
once you start, I feel like you just figure it out, So.
Okay. And Chantel, is there any last things you want to say or promote or talk about?
Literally just, thank you guys for, like I said, having me on here. I've always wanted to be on something like this and just really talk about passion of, cosplay and just drag and stuff like that. And, all cosplay is valid, you know what I mean? It's just fun. It's a place to get away. So just have fun with it. You know what I mean? And like Nurse said, if you're scared to do it even more. I have a page on Patreon that sells tutorials, and you can check it out. It's patreon.com/ChantelSparkles. All of my social media is Chantel Sparkles, so it's all you gotta do is just go on Google and type it, and you can find everything. I do tutorials on how to do wigs, I do cosplay, makeup. I just want to do videos for people starting out doing drag and stuff like that, but also make money because right now times are tough. But because when I started doing drag, I didn't really have YouTube and things like that, so I just want to give back and help people. So check me out on social media. It's Chantel Sparkles, and yeah, that's all.
Enjoy.
I stream I get my days mixed up. Thursdays through Saturdays usually, but not for this week because it's Dream Queens Con. But I usually play Dead by Daylight. I spend half the stream talking about how hot Jeff Johansson is.
Mood.
But other than that, if you feel like there's a particular cosplay you want to do and it's limited to a particular race or gender, and I'm like, don't do that. Just adapt. There's always gender bend cosplays. Right. Do your own interpretation of it. It's totally fine. Do it.
Just don't do blackface. That's it.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Period.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't
do it.
Don't do that.
Don't do it.
It's like cosplay is for everyone. Anyone can cosplay. Just don't change your skin color while doing it. And also, cosplay does not equal consent. Don't go groping cosplayers at cons. Don't grope drag.
Yeah.
Drag is also not consent, etc., etc. Period. But thank you all for joining us tonight for this wonderful drag and cosplay panel. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your stream, Queens Con. There are several panels coming up later tonight, including a panel with Nurse is moderating about balancing a professional life with a drag career that I'm also sitting on. Thank God not moderating with my crunchy OBS. And
you said that now mine's gonna be crunchy. Damn.
Well, and I just want to say good night, everybody, and go out there and stay nerdy.
Period.